He basically standardized the jobs of certain people by analyzing how much time does it take to perform a certain task of work. So basically, he basically conducted that particular study, that how much standardized time is required, and then assigned that particular time to a particular task. That what resultantly basically when you can say when a product was being made, that was being made on a particular time, and a specific lead time could be, you could say, calculated afterwards.
So it led to greater efficiency,
Yes, sir.
specialization.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Standardization of the work as well.
Standardization, right. In your view, will Pakistan come out of grey list of FATF? There is going to be a review meeting in February next year. Recently, I was reading in the newspaper an article which was very heartening, that Pakistan has shown satisfactory compliance in 21 out of 27 areas. So in which 6 remaining areas Pakistan still needs to do more to come out of the grey list?
All right, sir. So in my opinion, Pakistan would come out of the grey list in the next review as well, because as you mentioned before, we've already complied to almost 75% of the action plans. Now only 25% of them are left. The points which are left are basically dealing with the implementation of the mechanisms which have already been installed. Initially, we were told that we need to strengthen our laws so that we can combat anti-money laundering, we can combat financing of terrorism as well. We've done that, and now they want us to prosecute the certain people who fall into these laws as well. So we are basically falling behind as far as our implementation is concerned. Now in February as well, basically we are being told that there is going to be another review as well, and the president of FATF, Marcus Player, has already praised Pakistan's contribution towards that too. And now Pakistan needs to be diplomatically, sending its message very clearly that we have, you can say, complied to most of the action plans. Implementation is definitely weak, but there are some local dynamics too. So if you think that our implementation mechanisms are weak, either grant us some interim period if you're not permanently taking us out of the grey list, so that we can comply to these mechanisms, but our economy needs to be strengthened in that way.
Bilal, Zubair, in case Pakistan remains on the grey list, what would be the negative implications?
So first thing is your international image. We claim that our issue of Kashmir is there. India is, you can say, having abusive human rights there, abusing the human rights there as well. So if India claims that Pakistan is perpetrating terrorism too, so that reinforces their own claim as well, that we are the country who are financing the terrorism. So that hurts us diplomatically internationally. Second thing is, sir, investors coming into Pakistan as well, they'll be, you can say, very much reluctant to invest into Pakistan as well, because there will be certain checks and balances which will be because of the fact that we're on the grey list will be imposed in Pakistan. So investors always like to invest in those places where there is an ease of doing business as well. So that will hurt us economically too. And there will be obviously more checks and balances on our banking systems too. So ultimately that will...
So investment hates uncertainty.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay. 2 countries have been taken out of grey list. Could you name those 2 countries?
Sir, I believe it was Iceland. One of them was Finland, but I'm not sure about the other one.
Iceland and Mongolia. Last question from my side. What are some of the steps taken by the government for women emancipation in administrative terms as well as in legislative terms?
Sir, as far as the legislation is concerned, as far as administration is concerned, we have established the VAWCs where you can say women can complain, and then there are, you can say, in the concept of violence against women, they can complain and go to those centers and seek help from there too. There have been laws as far as the anti-harassment laws as well, because whenever there's a harassment case in the, you can say, office, women can complain to that, and there's going to be a certain board which will be set and hear the inquiries too. So there are certain harassment laws now in place too. And as far as this is basically on the administration as concerned.
Women Ombudsman, Office of the Women Ombudsman is there.
Ombudsman is there as well.
There is a 10% quota for women in civil service. They have been given more seats. So government has taken many steps.
Yes, sir.
Both administrative and legislative. Yes, you were coming to legislative steps.
So these are basically, you can say, because of the legislations that now we are going to be, you can say, there is going to be specific punishments for, you can say, people who are committing the acid crimes as well. There is going to be certain amount of punishment which is going to be regarding the harassment as well. And even in the, you can say, in bazaars or, the teasing element was there. Now there are certain laws in place. I do not really know the exact laws, but I've read them that there were laws person who is offending these things will be punishable.
So, what is the international perception about this issue? I mean, there is a global parity, gender parity report. So, what is Pakistan's international standing on this issue?
So Pakistan's international standing is quite low, and Pakistan is probably the second worst country when it comes to the women too. As far as the report is concerned, of what Women in Economic probably Forum's report was there, that Pakistan is the second worst country. Pakistan is taking steps, but the patriarchal attitudes and you can say the specific mindset of the people are still yet to be changed, which is obviously going to take some time, and that will gradually change once the education seeps in, because our literacy rate is still very low.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Bilal Zubair, well done, Bete. I think that ends your interview with us.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now that the interview is over, let's consult each other and try to compare notes about the gentleman. Let me start with you, sir.
Sir, I think he speaks a bit too fast, as a result of which sometimes he minces his words and does not pronounce it clearly. Similarly, on the issue of corruption, he couldn't give any analytical answer. But on the whole, I think his communication skill, considering his reasonable good communication skill and eye contact, I think he should be given at least above 60.
Okay, thank you.
I think he appears to be a good candidate, and he was in a position to analyze various issues posed to him, and especially on current affairs, international affairs. And then he could speak very well, though he was speaking a bit fast. But naturally, when a young man like of his age is there for such a forum, it is bound that he is likely to commit some of the things which are otherwise not expected. But he was confident, he spoke very well, and he came up to the occasion. Now, we cannot expect him that he would be knowing each and everything, but we are going to ask from him. Otherwise, he appears to be an all-rounder. He is a good candidate. And the way he presented himself here, I recommend that he must be awarded about 65 to 70% mark.
Thank you. Kamran sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to support the viewpoint presented by my worthy colleague. He was confident, decent, mature. His hand movements were quite restrained, good eye contact, good posture. He exhibited a reasonably good knowledge base and a rational bent of mind, a critical understanding of issues. He was articulate, his content was good, delivery style was good. He was mentally robust, emotionally stable, quick on the uptake, handled pressure quite well, clear-headed and focused. I think he deserves close to 70% marks, between 65 and 70%.
Well, I agree with most of what you have said. I found him to be very well composed, confident. Body language, as you pointed out, eye contact, hand movement, they were all very impressive. And on a number of issues, he was able to engage the panel well. GB पे उसने बड़ा convincing अच्छा जवाब दिया. He spoke well overall. And he spoke a bit too fast. I don't like that. In a candidate, जो आपने point out किया, he was mincing words, पूरा sentence पूरी तरह सही तरह complete नहीं करता था, अगले sentence पे आ जाता था. ये advice मैं ladies को हर दफ़ा करता हूँ, because they tend to speak too fast. कि तहम्मुल से आराम से गुफ्तगू करें, engage the panel so that you get through to the panel. ये चीज़ें उसमें observe मैंने की, ये चीज़ें मैंने उसमें देखी. Otherwise, I will agree with all three of you कि he was a 70, around 70ish type of a candidate, and I did fairly well. We wish him well. Thank you.